Hi, change makers. Thanks for being here. I was told that you are more than 2,500 people registered to this conference. This is huge. Thank you very much. That shows your interest in the topic. It's great. It's great. You are already change makers if that topic is the one you choose, this conference, if you wanted to be here. You're the one that is going to do innovation. Evolution only happens through innovation. Innovation are done by change makers. Change makers are those who dare, those who are not afraid to question themselves. So during this time, during the time we're spending together, I'm going to give you some keys, some tips, some idea, telling you what mindset you have to succeed, working, investing, or going in Africa, or developing businesses with or in Africa. If you don't do this, if you don't understand that, if you don't take it from yourself, for yourself, you won't succeed. And if you succeed, won't be fully or may not be sustainable, will be complicated, will be hard. You can be talented, you can have money, you can have a great team, connections, but if you don't have that, it's going to be hard. I want you to live with more clearness in your approach to this continent in constant innovation, constant evolution. Did you know that more than 40% of socioeconomic information we have regarding socioeconomic situation in Africa is based on subjective interpretation and perceptions? 40%, meaning what we know about that continent, 40% of it is not accurate. Therefore, it's just inevitable to be dumped by reality. So I'm Gérardine Mahoro. I run the consulting and supporting firm I-05. I'm keen business development with Orin Africa, conscious capitalism, business social impact, financial and economic risk perception in Africa. And actually, I'm working on that perception, the financial risk perception. I left the African Development Bank, and where I used to work for a long time, maybe 7 years. I left that group and one of the big four to work for I-05 because I wanted to bring something more in my work. We kind of create personalized bridge between African and European ecosystems. We do an additional work, something extra with a lot of player explaining, trying to make distinction between perception and reality, taking time with our stakeholders and our clients, for them to have a clear idea for better decision, of course. More relevant decision for sustainable decisions and project and investment, not to waste your money, not to waste your time. I want you to live with that leapfrogging Africa worldwide resonating in you. May leapfrogging become your motto in your private life, in your professional ambition. When you think about Africa, if not out of ideology or out of love for that continent, because not everyone loves that continent. I get it, that's fine. But at least for interests, at least for that. We are a Google it generation, we Google everything. Have you ever made a purchase by recommendation or went in a restaurant, saw a movie, traveled from some recommendation? Have you ever done that? We all do it. We compare, we read reviews, look numbers of stars, and we make our decision no matter the topic that way. We trust ranking without questioning them? Will you choose a restaurant that has a lot of bad comments? People talking, saying how bad it is, how dangerous, how dirty is that restaurant? Will you go there? Will you be that person that will say, oh, let me go there. I want to test it myself and see if I get sick. Who will do that? Will the owner of that restaurant sit complaining about the fact that customers don't come to his restaurant without taking any action, or waiting for someone else to do it, waiting for the neighbors, the owners of others' restaurants to, do some advertisement on his behalf, or sending them clients for free? I don't think so. I think he will do something. He will do maybe some, he will maybe clean up a little bit, do some marketing with some beautiful pictures. Maybe he will make an offer to entice customers to come, if not by trust or by experience, they will maybe come for their own interest. Maybe because that restaurant is going to be the cheapest of the streets. And he will talk about it over and over till the image change. Well, in this example, we can replace that restaurant with Africa. Yeah, you saw me coming, right? We can replace that restaurant with Africa. Africa is that continent where even people that never been there have bad comment on bad comment every day. Sometimes you don't even have to say the word. Sometimes you can just, for example, in a guessing game, like Guess Who? We all know that game. In Guess Who, if you have to guess the word Africa, if you are a strategist person, it suffices to give a list of bad qualification, like fearful, which refers to war, hunger, or possibly wild animals, to win for your team or for whoever you're playing with. Guess that you're talking about Africa. Can you imagine that way we stand? Who will spontaneously invest his money there? Who will dream his career or recruit? Who will do his recruitment in such a place? I'm asking you. That's why our mission is so important. We have to put mission into our work, into our private life. That's our generation's mission. African, you African, that is listening to me, you have to show excellence constantly till your country image change, because your country image is your image. That's the image people have of you. Perception, you have to show and tell your economic narrative. It's to our leader to make incentive policies and strategies that attract people, for entrepreneurs, investors. For you that have nothing to do with Africa, but that is looking for opportunity. You that is an opportunist. It's good to be an opportunist. You should all be an opportunist. You better look that direction. You better look Africa, because you know what? Africa is today the only continent that have double-digit return on investment. The only one nowadays. I'm not saying that it is easy. It is not easy. Not everything is simple. There is things to know, things to adapt, things to learn. It takes time sometimes. If you don't, you are not. If you don't have, an efficient accompaniment or advisory. That's why you should see people who knows. That's why companies like ours exist. Go see people that knows you, where you come from, your objective, your fields, your ecosystem, but that also know the local ecosystem of where you want to go, what you want to do. Talk about it, take time. Not only you will be able to undertake, invest, and grow, earn your money, take opportunities, but in addition, you will do that in a beautiful way. I believe in conscious capitalism. I believe in business for good. the perception impact is a lot. It has a big impact on the lack of trust that we have on Africans, on their companies, on their skills. Remember the 40%. This is big. Not far ago, I was to Sciences Po, an university in France, in Paris, one of the biggest European university, ranked, worldwide ranked university. And I told them, I gave them country's name, I asked them to tell me the word that came to them spontaneously. And I said, China, they said counterfeiting, they said labor slavery, they said power, they said COVID-19, they said technology. And then for France, they said strike, fashion, luxury, wine. And for Rwanda, they said cleanliness, leadership, genocide, of course. For the USA, eventually they said Donald Trump. Why not? Hollywood, culture, capitalism, racism. Mali was war, terrorism. They didn't find anything good to say on that beautiful country. South Africa was Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela, what else? Violence. Violence. I'm looking on the time. So can you imagine, this is how we read our world, by this simplified imagination, which requires effort to see beyond. That's why we all do. And consciously, when it's simplified and moreover inaccurate, it is all the more complicated. Remember the 40%. That shows how inaccurate more of some big amount of information we have is not accurate. Take the World Bank Poverty Index, for example, which is the benchmark today. I mean, when you look for an information, wherever you go on internet, we all use internet first. This is the first index. You see, the first information comes from there, and many people take their decision based on that. I can tell you that is not correct. It is not correct. Have you ever heard or read somewhere or in a discussion, or maybe you had the chance to read that report? There is always this African country that lives with $1, I mean, not the country lives, but where people live with $1 a day, families with $1 a day. I know that a few of you have been in Africa before. Have you ever seen that starving child whose image will eventually match that image you have in your mind when you read sentences like $1 a day to live, the whole family, for food, for the house, for health, $1. We all instantaneously, we all have this child with the big belly, you know, poor, almost dying. Have you ever seen one in Africa, in a normal African city, in a normal African country? Usually when I ask that question, there is a few second silence. People, you know, I see people looking if they have ever encountered any. The answer is often no, of course. There are so few that in general, we have never seen one. So how is it possible? How is it possible that many countries live with people lives in $1-2 a day, but you don't see people dying in the street? How is it that possible? There is something wrong here. Something is not okay. But a part of the answer is simple. The one I choose to give today as answer is that a part of the society, of the local ecosystems are not taken into account by majority of the international ecosystem, including that index. This figure is only slightly or not at all looking on the income from local and formal sector, for example, which is huge, which support, sometimes it supports open up to 60% of families in some countries. If you don't have the tool to read this, your information is not accurate, even if your name is World Bank or McKinsey or whatever. If an entrepreneur, an investor doesn't know that, he will have no idea of the potential. He will have no idea of the local purchasing power. He will not want to go there. He or she will have the usual question, wondering if there's people have mean to buy his project, if they will refund, give him back his money, if they can apply for credit, if he can recruit them. Are they educated? How can they be educated? And yet they can afford to travel. They can afford to have smartphone, to live their life. Because they always, every day, do shortcuts. They are innovators, born innovators. And they create a system that doesn't fit any of this international index. If mobile companies had followed or trusted that report, they would never gone there. So besides, maybe besides when they were going there, investing in Africa, the World Bank were advising them not to. This is just one example. When it comes to Africa, accept that you don't know. See it as another word, a different word. Different word that works differently, but that works anyway. You can't use usual approaches to something different. You have to accept that it is different, but that is not because it's different that doesn't work. And then you can go and do whatever you want with new look on it. Africans are born change makers. Solution and shortcuts are found every day to everyday unimaginable situation. And this is nothing else than innovation. Our generation, our mission is to see it as such. Companies that accept the fact are those that will succeed, that will work with or in Africa in a sustainable and healthy way. Investors who understand this will see more opportunities. Change makers are those who agree to take a new look at things or people that they thought they already knew. It requires great open-mindedness. These are people that need to be hired, people that need to be invested in, or forget those who think they have already acquired everything, those who are comfortable. Or those who constantly copy or compare themselves. We are in a digital era where everything is changing, paradigm is changing. In a family sphere, business, health, climate, everything, good ideas and good practice. Best practice can come from anyone, can come from everywhere, and it's already coming from Africa. And this is the time to show off. Systems that have been copied before, voluntary or forced to copy somewhere first. We know, and these systems have shown that they're no longer good. They are not adapted to our problems today, to our lifestyle, to our technologies, to the youth. They are outdated. We can't continue that, to copy them or to bring them to Africa. Innovate or die. Yeah, I think this is a good sentence, innovate or die. Maybe it's the most important of my speech today. Not so long, we had we took a stock on the 60 years independence for many African countries. And when you look at it, you realize that most of the things that have been done was copy-pasted from other systems. And we know that it doesn't work. Don't ask me why it was copied. If you all know why. If you don't know, Google it. Okay, seriously, it's not the time, neither the place to talk about it. But yeah, we need more than ever to be confident, to innovate from African, but also from foreigners, because they have the same need today. We are on the same stage. In any case, what is certain is that their systems are on the limit for everyone. Don't bring your system to me. I won't copy you. Let's innovate. There is no reason. There is no reason. They are all ditched. We have no other choice than innovation, than sustaining mindset and perception shifts to growing economy. It is, it is easier to bring innovation and start something great where there is nothing. It's easier than doing that in a place or countries where there is already everything, where it's going to be complicated for people to adapt the changes. It's easier to go and bring something good, do innovation in a place where people are dying of, are dying, looking for new ideas, that are badly looking for opportunities and development. It is easier. So why are you hesitating? You might say that, oh, there is nothing in Africa, so what? That better. Go and create. Go and do your money, make your money, innovate. It is easier to do that there than in France. That, people that are comfortable remind me of these cliche Hollywood movies where there is always this handsome guy, the athlete is often the handsome guy, and the nerds, and the handsome one is loved, popular, everything, confident. And then later in the film, there is this alumni party where, bam, guess what? The handsome guy is not interesting anymore. He's not attractive. He's not the one you will invest your money in. And in the other hand, the one who was mocked, adapted. He went through years of difficulties, became attractive. He's the new boss. Predictable, isn't it? So you see what I want to mean with this example. Those who stay in the comfort became less attractive over time. And those who adapt, work on themselves by intelligence or by necessity are the new bosses. That takes me to the example of China. It reminds me of China. I didn't give you that example, it was in another conference. China, not long ago, was mocked, denigrated, despised. We used to talk about, we, like you and me, the media, the international organization systems, and social, the civil society, because that's what we knew. That's what I knew about China. I didn't know anything. I knew what I read, what I see. I had the image. So we always talked about China to say how dirty it is, how corrupt it is, to talk about authoritarianism, labor slavery, all these things, as we continue to talk about Africa today. Now look to China now. Those who did not know how to look at that country when it was evolving, those who didn't understood what was going on, that were too confident to see, that were kept in their comfort and certainties, those who believed that the comfort of and superiority were acquired forever. Today, they are, whether when they see China, they fear or they have jealousy or everything at the same time. You can say whatever you want on China. Maybe you don't like Chinese or their system or what they do in Europe or in Africa. Whatever is your opinion, we can agree on something. Now, there is nothing you can do without conquering China. China is on the table today. China is powerful. Do not make the same mistake. Don't do the same mistake with Africa. Watch Africa in motion. Watch Africa innovating, seize the opportunity. Step out of your comfort, cultural comfort or historical heritage or who know what. Be the biggest opportunist ever. That applies also to African, because not everything good comes from abroad, you know? We are spending our time looking so far that we don't see what is going on to our homes. Starting from now, when you look at a picture, you look at a job offer, you look at an opportunity, maybe the big international company you're working for is opening an offer in an African country. I'm inviting you to see it with a new lens, change your lens and see what will happen. We can still talk about it later on social media or as you want. So Leapfrog Africa is when mobile banking is everywhere, adopted by everyone, for people that never had a bank account before. While at the same time in Europe, it's not adopted yet or not trusted. Leapfrogging Africa is when X big number of smartphones per capita or per family is used every day for people that never had landline before, people that don't have electricity worthy of their name, or maybe don't have electricity yet. You can see that in Africa. It's when virtual university, when there is more and more virtual university where traditional schools have never emerged. When illiterate villagers who have never used a laptop before, someone that who can't read, who can't write, never used a laptop, but have delivered drugs by drones. Just picture it. Picture it. This is leapfrogging Africa. You must know that your scope of possibility is outdated. Then you can follow your ideas, your intuition without being held back by whatever was done or whatever was not done. Join the change maker. That makes me think about someone I admire, a surgeon. I don't even know him personally, but this guy, he's from Burkina Faso, Dr. Sayav Nyumu Ongumu. This guy is a very definition of the mindset of leapfrogging, going straight to solution without, thinking about what exists, what doesn't exist, what is the possible, what they will say, or, or am I able to? He just do. We have to be doers. This guy is an example of what Africa can bring to the world. Google him. Google him. That makes me think about some collaborators I'm working with that are in Niger. If I didn't have that experience of working with Africa and people that I don't know in very rural area, in countries where I traveled, I've been traveling Africa for, I don't know, maybe 30 countries now, 29 countries in Africa. If I didn't have that experience, I will have the usual question in mind, like, oh, where is the Niger? How it's going to be expensive for me to go there all the time. Will he be productive if I'm not watching him constantly? Do they have internet? Where is that again? In the desert? Nobody hire people from there. I better avoid it, other things. I just did an offer, someone answered. I just considered the application as, in normal process as if it was from Paris, US or wherever. And it's working very well, doing good job. I haven't seen one of them because he started during the COVID. But you see, just do things with no restriction, because again, 40% of information you have is not true. Do your own experience. So I see that I have only 1 minute left. There is, for let's say, 3 things that I think are very important I want you to keep. First, everyone, everywhere is looking for new ideas. Your family, your boss, your board, everyone is looking for new ideas and people that are courageous enough to hold them, to defend them. Second, Africa is a continent of change maker. And the good news is that it is now the opportunity. We are in an incredible conjuncture, incredible time of our history where everything is questioned. Everything is problems everywhere. You have two choices. First, the first option is seeing it in a pessimist way, saying, oh, this is the end of the world. Nothing left to be saved, blah, blah, blah. Second option is problems means opportunities. Problems everywhere and so are opportunities. And the third one, the third one, the last one, that should have been the first, because I think it's very important to know, for you to know, that shortcut lead to innovation. Innovation lead to SMEs. SMEs brings jobs. Jobs brings economy development. Economic growth means less social problems and more democracy. In that order, not the inverse. Democracy doesn't bring economic development. Democracy doesn't resolve any social problems. Jobs do. In that order. Again, I believe that majority of social problems are resolved by economy. If it's business for good, that even better. Conscious capitalism has to be a reality. If you are an African people, or if you are not, you must change your outlook on that continent to grow and spread the word, of course. Thank you very much.